Welcome to Perspective Academy. My name is Leon, and in this course, you'll learn everything you need to create highly converting funnels. So by the end, you'll know how to improve your conversion rates by building funnels that load blazing fast, are optimized for both mobile and desktop traffic, and give visitors a personalized experience. But the best part is, it'll take you less than an hour to launch. By now, you're probably wondering, will this funnel tutorial apply to my use case? Absolutely. We've got over 7,000 successful customers across all industries. So as long as you have an active Perspective account and a way to run traffic, this course is for you. So what will this course cover? In the following lesson, we'll get familiar with the Perspective's funnel editor. We'll also pick the right funnel for you. In lesson 3, we'll learn what makes a funnel highly converting. You'll be able to apply that knowledge to your freshly picked funnel template. That lesson alone will help you jump from a novice to an intermediate funnel builder. Then, in lesson 4, we'll launch your first funnel so you can start driving traffic to it. At the end of that lesson, you'll officially be a Perspective funnel builder. So if you only watch the next 3 lessons, you will be in a position to start increasing your conversion rates with Perspective funnels. After that, we'll jump to 3 lessons that will help you master the platform beyond just funnel building. In lesson 5, we'll learn how to work your leads in Perspective, including how to set up email sequences and work with the CRM. Lesson 6 will be about optimization, how to read your funnel metrics, run A/B tests, and optimize your funnels. Lesson 7 will teach you how to work with Perspective workspaces for managing client campaigns or your own client acquisition. By the end of that lesson, you'll have mastered using Perspective as an essential tool in your service delivery. In lesson 8, we'll take a quick recap of what we've learned, so you can start applying your knowledge right away. But before we jump into the next lesson, please make sure that you can sit down uninterrupted for at least 60 minutes. If you don't have 60 minutes to learn how to build instant conversion funnels, come back when you do. I'll be here. Now, click on the next video to start building the best funnel for you. In this lesson, we'll tour the interface of Perspective's funnel editor together. You'll get an understanding of how to navigate yourself around the editor and what are the different blocks your pages are made of. We'll start by introducing funnel templates. When you log into your Perspective account, you can find them under the New Funnel button. These templates are designed with different conversion goals and use cases in mind. There are 4 primary conversion goals Perspective helps with: generating appointments, sourcing talent, building an email newsletter, and making online sales. Each of these has its own templates. Below this video, we prepared a quiz for you where you can get a match for your first template. Use it to find your match fast, or select one of the options available on the screen. I'll use our golden standard, the appointment funnel. Once you've selected your first funnel, open it in another tab to follow along as we'll go through the different elements in the editor. Now that you have your funnel template, the first thing you'll notice is the funnel page. You might see its layout is vertical. That's because, by default, all Perspective funnels are built with mobile visitors in mind. In 2025, up to 90% of your traffic will come from mobile. From our own experience, building a funnel that's mobile optimized can yield up to 5 times higher conversion rates. Does that mean that Perspective is only good for mobile traffic? Not at all. Click on the desktop icon in the bottom right-hand corner to switch between mobile and desktop view. As you'll see, your funnel automatically adjusted to a wider resolution. Any changes you make, either in the desktop or mobile layout, will apply to the other layout automatically. Now, let's have a look at the navigation on the left-hand side. The Pages section is where you navigate between different pages in your funnel. Messages, which we'll cover in depth in Lesson 5, allow you to interact with your leads after they convert inside your funnel. Design, which we'll cover in Lesson 4, allow you to change the theme of your funnel, including colors, font style, animations, and button angles. But now, let's focus on pages. Here, you'll see all the pages of your funnel grouped into two sections, pages and results. The pages section contains the pages of your funnel that your visitors will go through before they convert to lead and land on your results page. By default, they'll go through all the pages in order. However, you can change page linking to override that, which we'll get to later in lesson 4. By the time they visit your thank you page, you'll have converted a visitor into an engaged lead. Now, let's focus on the top navigation bar. The funnel editor is where we're at right now. Right next to it, you'll find 3 more sections. We'll look into each of them more in detail in the following lessons. Metrics show you conversion data you can use to optimize your funnel. We'll dive deeper into them in lesson 6. Contacts, which host all your lead data, will allow you to work your leads. We'll have a closer look in lesson 5. And finally, apps allow you to plug in any external integrations, including pixels from advertising platforms, webhooks, or your CRM. I will set it up together in lesson 4. To the right of the top nav bar, you'll see 2 icons and a publish button. The eye icon is the funnel preview. You can click on it to see how your funnel presents itself to visitors. You can also click any buttons or submit any data there without it impacting your conversion metrics or creating new leads. The cog icon to the right of preview opens the settings, and right next to it is the funnel publish button. Look into both in lesson 4. Now, let's quickly scroll through the pages. This will differ based on the template you've chosen, but the principle remains the same. Pages are made of sections, which are in turn made of blocks. For funnel templates, we've already pre-built the different sections of a highly converting funnel. In the next lesson, we'll look in more detail at how to make funnel pages high converting. We'll cover sections then. In this lesson, however, we'll focus on the most fundamental building blocks. Master these first, and you'll have a solid handle on your funnel toolkit, so that later, when we dive into conversion optimization, you can focus on the big picture instead of juggling the basics. Let's now focus our attention on blocks. The blocks on your funnel pages have 2 functions. Basic blocks give you real estate to showcase any element of your offer the lead should know about. And interactive blocks engage visitors by requesting them to take action. We'll now look into basic blocks. We won't go through all of them, but will instead focus on 2 key groups of basic blocks. Fundamental building blocks, which make up 80% of all the other blocks, and proof-oriented blocks, which are particularly important for showcasing your expertise and results. A text block is the most basic element of any page. As you can see on the left nav bar, the editing options there are simple and help you focus on writing the copy rather than grappling with the editor. Type anything you want and choose its size, format, alignment, and color. The next block we'll look at is the button block. It's the most important block of any page, as in most cases, this will bring the visitor to another page in your funnel. As you can see, similar to the text, the button has all text functions available to you on the top left-hand side. Beyond the text being interactive, you can also link your button to a specific page, change the width on desktop, or add animation. Next up, we've got 2 visual blocks, image and video. With images, it's as simple as drag and dropping your image into the editor and picking the right ratio. For videos, you have 2 options. You can upload the file locally, max 2 GB, or link to an external hosting platform like Wistia, YouTube, or Vimeo. If you choose to upload your own file, you can set up a thumbnail and choose whether you want it to autoplay or not. This block is particularly useful for video sales letters. If you've selected a template that uses a VSL, making sure it displays well will impact whether the visitor takes further action or not. Now, let's have a look at proof-oriented basic blocks. If there is one element all great funnels have, it is the trust they're able to build with their visitors. In Perspective, we make it easy by giving you an array of options to choose from and mix together. Starting with the logo bar. If you or your client already have big names you've worked with, this block can showcase them without steering attention away from your main messaging. Simply upload the logos or use our native integration with Brand Fetch to add it to your logo bar. Next, we've got the reviews. Select the star rating on the slider and upload the avatars of your customers here. Moving on to the testimonial slider. This block allows you to combine images and direct quotes from your clients or your client's clients into an auto-sliding block. Simply upload an image and click into your text to adjust it for your own testimonials. Understanding these basic blocks and their function will give you a fundamental understanding of Perspective's file editor. With that, you'll be able to use more complex ones and, in the next lesson, sections. Let's now go to interactive blocks. They are what engages your audience and ultimately gives you additional data you can use in sales calls or for retargeting. Again, there are two types of interactive blocks we'll learn about. Choice, engaging visitors with quick answers and little friction, and forms, capturing key data to use in your sales process. Starting with the two choice blocks, single choice and multi-choice. In single choice, the design of each answer looks exactly like the button block we've seen before. Simply click into the answer and adjust the text. You can also add an emoji to your answers. With multi-choice, the visitors can select multiple options and then use the button to submit their answers. Moving on to the quiz block, our signature interactive block. It works just like the single question block with a bonus. You can add an image or an icon to make it more attention-grabbing. There's also a variation of the quiz block that works with the video. It's called the video question. There, you can upload a 9:16 vertical video and make it even more engaging. Onto the form blocks. The first key form block is the form itself. This is your standard lead intake form. In Perspective, a conversion only happens when you capture an email or phone number. If you don't, you won't be able to see a visitor's other answers. Capture contact info, and they're officially a lead. For both email and phone, you can improve the quality of your data at the cost of increased friction by using advanced verification. Your leads will receive a one-time code to confirm their email address or phone number. You can also map additional fields onto the form and use our standard variables such as website or zip code, or create your own custom variable. This variable will be available in the contact section once you capture a lead or in any integrations you set up such as Zapier or Webhook. But don't bother with it for now. We'll cover more of that later in lesson 4. The next block we'll look at is the sister block of form, appointment, our native Calendly integration. With this integration, your visitors are asked to input their contact details in the funnel, and once they click on the Continue to Calendar button, these details get auto-filled into their appointment details. The next block we'll look at is the payment block. At the time of this recording, we're only supporting Stripe payments, but depending on when you're watching this, there might be many more options we're currently working on adding. Here, you get to connect your Stripe account and collect payments directly inside your funnel. There's 4 more form blocks you'll see inside the editor: upload, message, date, and dropdown. They are all variations of the standard form block that capture a different variable. Depending on the information you want to capture from your visitors, you can use any of them. Lastly, there's one more important block: custom HTML. In case you want to use another functionality we don't yet support, you can paste the code into a custom HTML button and we'll display it on the page. For more information on the custom HTML block, simply open the Intercom chat bubble, go to Help, and type custom HTML. Great. Now that we've got the most basic blocks covered, let's go to lesson 3, where we'll learn how they combine together to create highly converting sections and pages. How to make your funnel convert. Now that you've learned all the building blocks that make up a Perspective funnel, let's have a look at the bigger picture. No matter how good the structure of your funnel is, how good the blocks, or how mobile responsive the designs are, your funnel will only ever perform for you if you communicate your value proposition in a way that resonates with your audience. For your funnel to perform, you need to understand what your audience knows about your offer and what information you can present them with so they take action. Using a funnel is no different than selling in person. You need to transfer a belief that taking the next step with you is going to get them closer to the desired outcome you're selling, whether that's a sales appointment, job application, or signing up for a newsletter. In order to transfer that belief, you need to build enough trust so that your funnel visitors will take the next step. That's why a successful funnel can be broken down into two core elements. Copy. What is the belief that we're transferring? And proof. How can we make others trust us? This is the lens to approach building your funnel with. Now, if you have to choose between having a funnel with great design and one with great copy and proof, copy wins 9 out of 10 times. Fortunately, you don't have to pick because we've got the funnel templates ready for you, so you can start focusing on adjusting them with your own copy and proof without having to spend hours on making it visually appealing. This way, you can test and iterate faster so that you can find the messaging that resonates best with your audience and ultimately leads to the highest conversion rates for yourself. Now that we've covered why you should stick to funnel templates, let's break down the anatomy of a successful funnel so you can start adjusting them with your own copy and proof. In Perspective, you have different sections you can use for different copy and proof use cases. Sections are built from blocks, which we've looked at in Lesson 2. And, in addition, they use layouts. In Perspective, a layout is a container for columns, which can in turn contain blocks. 90% of the time, you'll already have the layouts pre-styled by either using the standard funnel templates or by using pre-made sections available in the sections part of the editor. In case you do want to create a layout, grab any element that isn't inside of a layout and drag it to the right of another element. Now we've got a layout with 2 columns. But let's go back. We're now going to break down the appointment funnel's landing page by identifying the sections it has. First up, we see this layout with a quiz, headline, and subheadline. It's a classic hero quiz section whose goal is a quick attention grab, with offer introduction as the headline and an interactive element right below. The quiz element has one purpose on landing page: get the visitor engaged with a simple question. Right below, we can see a logo bar, introducing social proof for your offer right away. Next, we have a variation of the product section, introducing your offer further. Right after, there's a variation of the call to action. Then, we're looking at testimonials to boost that social proof element. Then, again, a call to action section. After that, an About Us section introducing your company. And right after, a product section breaking down process behind the offer. Near the end, there's the FAQ section answering any remaining objections, and the page ends with the one last call to action with proof to maximize the conversion. Every section on the landing page has the goal of trying to get a visitor to opt in right when they have enough information to do so. For the warmest part of your audience, the initial CTA button might be enough. In most cases, however, there will be people who only convert once they have more information. That's why, by introducing these additional sections on the landing page, you can increase the overall conversion rate of your funnel. As a side note, for some audiences and some use cases, the audience is already so warm that adding additional sections may actually backfire and lower conversion, which is why it's so important to experiment with different templates as you get your initial benchmarks. For the most part, however, sticking to a funnel template like the appointment funnel, or the one you picked for your own use case, will yield optimal results. Let's now look beyond the landing page. Almost every funnel template you'll see in Perspective has 4 sections. Lead form, plus a thank you page at the end, are the crucial elements for capturing data. Landing page at the start is here to increase conversion rates, and quiz funnel in between is capturing data in an engaging way. Now, why does the structure work? The landing page is by far the most important one. As we've already covered, after a visitor clicks on your ad or organic post, they need to understand why they should go through your funnel. A good landing page can have the biggest difference on completion rates. The core is obviously a strong headline plus a clear call to action at the top. Then, depending on the stages of awareness, additional sections with additional calls to action can increase conversion rates on the landing page. But what about once they decide to interact with your funnel? As the purpose of any funnel is to capture lead information and get visitors to opt into the next step, traditionally marketers have used standalone forms to capture all necessary information on one page. Typeform changed that with asking visitors questions one at a time. But that's still a subpar experience, as you had to separate the web page part of your funnel from the lead intake form. With quiz funnels in Perspective, you get to combine both. Instead of asking all of your questions up front, separate the easy to answer ones from the higher friction email, phone, or name questions. You'll have to test the right order of your questions for a specific use case, but for most use cases, we found the following order to work best. Question number 1 should be a super easy one. Its only goal is to get the visitor involved. Then lead with other choice or multi-choice questions. After that, optionally introduce open questions such as describe your goal in the next 6 months. At the end, ask the visitor for the name, email, and/or phone number. Remember that if you don't collect their email or number, your visitor won't be identified and you won't see them as a lead in the system. But wait, does that mean that you won't capture partial submissions for anonymous visitors? Yes. However, you get a positive ROI on this move. Why? People who initially go through a few easy-to-answer questions end up submitting their contact details at a higher rate by as much as 30% compared to asking for their email on the first page. So, are quiz questions the right choice for you? Most likely yes. But again, you'll have to test it, which is why Perspective is the right tool for that purpose. You can test your funnels and see where drop-off happens, and then you get to tweak your funnels accordingly. We'll cover the topic of funnel optimization more in detail in lesson 6. Now that you've established your flow, let's have a look at the lead submission form page. In funnel templates, such as appointment funnel, VSL demo, and strategy call, we've placed additional proof elements before the very lead submission. This way, you can once again reiterate the value proposition to your visitors and reconfirm their belief why submitting their data will be the right choice to make. This is optional, and again, depends on the awareness stage of your traffic, but we found that decreasing friction in this step generally has a positive impact on conversion. Lastly, we have the thank you page. When you look closer into the results pages, you have the option to add more pages. It's here for you to introduce additional flows for visitors and leads who don't qualify for your main offer. This can, for example, be a different offer or a newsletter sequence opt-in. You can also create different results pages, positioning the same offer from different angles based on the answers your leads gave. We'll learn how to configure page linking to route them to different results pages based on answers in the next lesson. To recap, building a highly successful funnel, focus on what you do best. Write copy that sells the offer and back it up with a lot of proof. Use and modify the funnel templates instead of building them from scratch. By doing that, you'll save a lot of time testing design. Time you can spend on iterating your copy and generating additional results for your offer. You've learned how the different building blocks of Perspective work and how to incorporate them into your own funnel. Now that you know what a highly converting funnel looks like, you have all the building blocks required to launch your first funnel in Perspective. Well, almost. In the next lesson, we'll go through the final checklist and adapt your page to be ready to ship and start running traffic from ads or organic content. Congratulations! By now, your funnel with your initial copy and proof should be ready to go. In this lesson, we'll go through a checklist of small tweaks and adjustments to make before publishing your funnel. By the end, you'll have your first Perspective funnel ready to rock. First, let's look again at the pages on the left-hand side navigation bar. If you've dabbled your feet into different thank you pages or disqualifying leads in your funnel, here's where we'll make sure your setup is correct. Every button in Perspective by default links to the next page. This applies to standalone buttons, single and multi-choice questions, quiz and video questions, and forms of all sorts. When we click on one of them and look at the linking tab on the left-hand side, we'll see the linking section. The first dropdown, by default set to the next page, links where the visitor will go directly after clicking. The second dropdown determines which results page they'll land on after going through the entire funnel. Make sure to set these up correctly. You may accidentally route someone to a results page after they clicked on the button if you change the next page linking to another section. By the time you're watching this video, there may be updates to the current quiz logic. We're working on making it more advanced. So if you have any doubts about how it works, refer to the Help Center you can find on the bottom right. Moving on to themes. You've probably noticed that by default, your funnel uses the standard theme of the funnel template. Let's go to the design section to adjust it to your branding. Select from any of the pre-existing themes in your account or click on the new theme to create a custom one. Change the theme colors to make them match your brand. You'll see the changes apply in real time to blogs without custom theming. Rounded corners will apply to all of your buttons, images, and columns. Page transition is how your page loads for visitors. If you want an additional boost to loading speed, you can disable this feature. Select your branded font to have it applied across all of your copy at once. Once you've created your theme, make sure to save it. Now, let's have a look at the header. Here's where you can replace standard Perspective logo with your own. You can also add a CTA button. We don't, however, recommend it for standard use cases. Click on the header to adjust the alignment of your logo image or CTA button. You can make your header fixed to follow the visitor as they scroll the page down. And you can also make it translucent, so the header reflects the colors on the page. After adjusting your header, let's scroll all the way down to your footer. Here is where you can add 2 additional links: Terms of Service and Privacy Policy, adjusted as per your jurisdiction's legal requirements. The toggle to disable Perspective's branding, available on all plans except for the Start plan, is also here. Also, depending on your jurisdiction's legal requirements, you may be required to have a cookie pop-up. Here's where you can choose if you want to display it. By default, all files have the advanced cookie banner enabled. Now, let's focus on the settings icon in the top right-hand corner. There are 2 important elements we need to adjust. First off is the social preview. This is how your funnel will appear when you send its link to someone on social media platforms like Instagram or LinkedIn. Make sure to edit the image, headline, and subheadline to concisely present what visitors might expect from your funnel. Right below the social preview is the favicon icon. Pick from our default icons or upload your own logo. Make sure the resolution is square. Now your funnel is ready to be published. The only thing we still need to do is connect your domain. Click on the Publish button and then on Customize Link. Select Connect a new domain. You have 2 options: connect your own domain or create a Perspective subdomain. When you click on Connect your own domain, you'll be guided through the setup on Perspective's site. There, you'll get DNS values you need to copy to your registrar. If in doubt, refer to our Help Center article or ask ChatGPT how to link your domain at your registrar. The connecting may take up to 24 hours, but usually doesn't take more than 10 minutes. Let's go back to our funnel. Click on the Publish button again and select your domain. Adjust your URL and click Publish. Voila! Your funnel is now live. If your domain still hasn't connected by now, just publish it using your generic link. You can always come back later. Click on your link if you want to see the experience like your visitors will, but be careful with entering data, as it will be recorded in your metrics. To preview without recording data, click on the eye icon to the left of the settings icon. We're almost done with today's lesson, but there's one more thing we need to set up: apps. You probably want to pass lead data either to your advertising platform or your CRM. In this section, you'll be able to do so. Simply click on the desired integration and you'll see a tutorial on how to connect that integration to your specific funnel. And if you have any issues after watching the tutorial videos, our support team is happy to help. You can always find them under the intercom chat bubble in the bottom right-hand corner. Congratulations! You've just launched your first funnel. Now, you're on your way to reaching your conversion goals, whether that's more appointments, job applicants, newsletter signups, or online sales. In the next lesson, we'll look at how you can work your leads once they start flowing in. Now that your funnel is live and leads are ready to start flowing in, let's learn how to use the CRM and messages to stay in touch with them. We'll first head over to the Contacts tab to see your lead data. At first, you'll see a Kanban with all leads under the New column. Below that are other default lead stages: reviewed, interviewed, offer sent, rejected, accepted. To change a column's name or color, click on the three dots and click Edit Status. Update the label and the color. To add additional stages, click the three dots and then click Status Templates and add what you need. Click any lead to open their profile. In Profile, you'll see their answers to all questions, the date they were created, and lead data like email, phone number, and full name. Open Notes to leave internal notes for this lead. In Lesson 7, you'll learn how to white label the contact section and collaborate with clients on leads. You can leave comments like, "Contact this lead," and your client will see it. Open Messages to view the message history with this lead. Open Activity to see what they did inside the funnel. Click Write Email to open your mail app and send an actual email to the lead. Switch to Table View to see every variable you collected in your funnel. Click the three dots, Export Contacts to download this table. Each property is named after the question that collected it. For example, the question on page 3, what's the price range of your products, creates the property, what's the price range of your products. You can add a custom property that you update manually. Prefer seeing your notes inside of a table instead of a contact? Add your property and your notes there. Now, let's look at messages. As of today, messages are in beta, so your screen might look a little different. If it does, open Help in the bottom right and check the Help Center. All right, let's set one up. As of today, you have two options to choose from: email and WhatsApp. Let's start with setting up an email. Click New Message. And now think of message as three parts: trigger, rules, and content. First, the trigger. By default, messages fire when the lead status changes, the same statuses you manage in the Contacts tab. For example, when a lead moves to interviewed. Next, you can add optional rules to narrow who qualifies. For example, status equals interviewed and position equals CEO. Only those leads will get this message. You can also add a delay. Now the content. The editor is a simple rich text block. Type your copy like any normal email. Here, set the sender identity. You map these in your funnel settings, and afterwards you can add your subject and write the body. Personalize the body with the variables you collect in the funnel. After you publish the funnel, dive the add symbol to see what's available. Lead data, answers, and custom properties will be there. Pick the recipient. Use captured contact to email the lead. Send a test email to check formatting, and if it looks good, save and activate. Let's do a quick recap. First, the trigger, then the rules. Set up the delay, the content, optionally add variables, set up your sender, set up the recipient, test the email, and you're ready to activate. Now, let's try adding a WhatsApp message to the mix. To add WhatsApp, first connect your account. Go to Settings, WhatsApp, and follow the prompts to link your account. If anything looks strange, check the Help Center guide. Now, create a WhatsApp message template. Set the header, write the body, and set the footer if needed. You can also add a button with external link, for example, your booking page or a checkout link. Now, define when this message sends. Set the trigger. You can add rules to narrow the audience, again, same as with emails. Add a delay if you don't want to fire immediately, and now you can verify your template and turn the message on. To make changes to your template, pause the message. This applies both to emails and WhatsApp. Now, let's address the question: why follow-ups matter? The moment you capture a lead isn't always when they convert. Having a few relevant follow-ups in place can help you achieve your ultimate conversion goal, whether that's more appointments, applicants, newsletter signups, or online sales. So, a quick reminder: because messages are in beta, UI and options can change. For the latest details, use the Help Center. Great! We've learned how to work with CRM and messages. Now we're ready to go ahead and learn how to optimize your funnel as you go so you get more leads you can contact later. Now that we have our funnel live and we know how to work with contacts, let's have a quick look at the metrics. We're going to look at one of our own funnels. This is the funnel that helps people sign up for live training that we organize within our community. As you can see, in this particular funnel, we've got about 12,000 funnel visits, which resulted in roughly 1,600 conversions. So, over a 10% conversion rate. Inside the Metrics tab, you can see the most important metrics: time to completion, conversion rate, completion rate, time on page, as well as page-to-page conversion rate. This chart tells you which pages have the highest drop-off, so you can see and identify the friction points inside your funnel. Further down, you can also see other metrics: activity by day and time, device split, button clicks, and the most popular answers to questions. In the top right-hand corner, you can click the plus button to add additional charts that aren't displayed on your dashboard yet. Another thing the metrics can tell us is the results of an A/B test. An A/B test is an option for you to split the first page of your funnel and see which version performs better. The best A/B tests isolate one variable and test it across two pages, whether that's a different placement of a button, a different headline, or a different variation of your VSL. A split test helps you iterate a funnel for optimal conversion. Once you find the landing page that performs best, you can end the split test with the winner and then create another split test to test another variable. This way, with more iterations of your funnel and by consistently driving traffic, you'll be able to optimize over weeks and get a much higher conversion rate. Now, a quick note about A/B tests and why they're important. Similarly to looking at your metrics to see which page causes the most drop-off, the entire goal of optimizing your funnel is to build the version that performs best for you. Here's a couple of important patterns you'll see. Almost always, you'll see the biggest drop-off on the first page. If your funnel includes a quiz, you should usually see relatively low drop-off between quiz questions, unless the questions you're asking introduce a lot of friction. If they do, the metrics feature can help you find out which questions you might consider rewarding, removing, or replacing. Side note about metrics: you can also use insights from the metrics tab to find the most common answers across your audience. That can help you segment your funnel or tweak your copy to cater more to people with a particular need. When we're talking about performance, there's one more thing we need to make sure of: utilize your pixel properly. Pixel helps you feed your data back to the advertising platforms, so the algorithm suggests more of the people who take the action you want and fewer of people who don't. Depending on your advertising platform, Meta, LinkedIn, Google, or TikTok, you should have an option to map answers to particular questions to different events. You can check the IDs of a particular question when you click on any button inside of your Perspective funnel. Make sure to pass data about unqualified people back to your ad platforms, so they suggest fewer people who'd answer in a similar way. This can vastly improve your retargeting, your ad spend efficiency, and ultimately get more leads for the media budget you put in. That was a quick tour of metrics and how to use them to optimize your funnel. In the next lesson, we'll look at how to use Perspective to work with your clients. Stay tuned. Let's look at the last part of this course: how to work with your clients inside of Perspective. The features we've built are designed so it's easy for you to work with clients, especially for all types of marketing agencies. First thing we'll look at is workspaces. Depending on your plan, you'll have access to anywhere from 1 to 10 or more workspaces. Use each workspace to separate different funnels and to separate who has access to what. Think of workspaces as folders with permissions. You can share a specific workspace with your clients and you can even white label the workspace depending on your plan. Let's go into workspace settings. Every workspace has a name, an icon, and status options. There's also a preview for clients. In members, you can give different roles to different users. Contacts Manager and Global Admin are available on all plans, while Content Manager and Workspace Admin are reserved for users on the Scale plan. Now let's have a look at specific functions inside of a funnel. You can invite members just to see contacts. So, for example, a client's team member can act on leads without touching the funnel build. A contacts manager can click into a funnel they have access to and will only see contacts. They won't see the funnel pages, they won't see anything else, just leads. Quick note on branding. When the client views the CRM you've shared, which is a contact manager, it is fully white labeled. They won't even see the Perspective.co domain. Now, one more thing about funnels and plan limits. Your funnel limit depends on the plan you're on. If you hit your limit and want to make room for new funnels, you have two options. You can either upgrade your plan or archive some funnels. When you archive a funnel, it goes offline. That frees up a slot. If you're at your limit, you won't be able to set additional funnels live, but you can still save them as drafts until you free a slot. You can also duplicate your funnels. Duplicating a funnel allows you to spin up variations of funnels, or you can use it to share them between different workspaces. That's it about workspaces and roles. You can now collaborate with your clients and your own team on building and managing funnels and leads, so you can grow your business by providing amazing services to your clients. Now, head over to the last lesson. I'll wrap everything up and give you a bonus. Thank you so much for following along this course. Let's quickly recap what we've learned. In Lesson 2, we went over the basic blocks that together build the funnel inside of Perspective. We also covered how to pick your first template and start editing it. In Lesson 3, we dove deeper into what makes high-performing funnels. You learned the importance of strong copywriting and social proof and how to edit sections to build a highly converting funnel. In Lesson 4, we went through the checklist of additional tweaks before launch. You set up your domain, theming, integrations, and your header and footer. By the end of Lesson 4, you have everything you need to build and launch your first funnel. In Lesson 5, we looked at how to work with contacts inside of your CRM and send messages after someone converts in your funnel. In Lesson 6, we looked at metrics, how to use those insights to iterate on your funnels and increase conversion rates over time. In Lesson 7, we looked at how workspaces are structured in Perspective, so you can best leverage multiple funnels and collaborate with your clients. Now you're ready to launch and start using Perspective. But before you go, there's one more thing I'd like to show you. If you love the experience and want to share it with a friend, we made it super easy to refer people to Perspective. For every customer you bring into the platform, you get 30% lifetime revenue commission on the value of Start, Grow, or Expand plans. That means every month or year, you'll receive 30% of their plan's value for as long as they stay. To do it, all you need to do is to share your affiliate link, which you can find in the Referrals tab. Anyone who signs up via your link gets a twice longer free trial, 30 days instead of 14. And there are also other ways if you want to give even more value. You can share your own funnel as a template or use one of our standard ones. Open the funnel, go to Settings, scroll to Funnel Sharing, and generate a funnel sharing link. When someone signs up via that link, they get your funnel, a 30-day trial, and you'll still receive 30% lifetime commission. You can also enable the affiliate banner on your funnel. If someone visits your funnel and signs up to Perspective through that banner, they'll be attributed to you. Final bonus. For every person who signs up via your link, you not only get 30% lifetime revenue share, but if they refer other customers, you also get 5% of those customers' subscriptions value. So now that you know how to use Perspective, go ahead, launch, get funnels that convert, spread the love, and post your wins in the school community. My name is Leon, and that was the first course of the Perspective Academy, Introduction to Perspective.